Granny square! Not just for blankets. I have used granny squares to make hats, bags, soft toys, and I used a number of them in my 1970s crocheted outfit. How I make my granny squares only requires 3 stitches: chain, double crochet, and slip stitch. Super easy. So let's get to it. Materials: yarn, hook appropriate size for the yarn. I am using a 5mm hook, scissors, and a darning needle. And of course I have my trusty yarn bowl. To start with, I need a loop, so I'm going to make a slip knot. Depending upon your tension, you can chain 5 or 6. I'm going to do 5. Now we're going to slip stitch into the first chain. That creates our starting ring. I'm going to chain 2. Again, depending upon your tension, you may want to put a third one in. This represents 1 double crochet. Now I'm going to do 2 more. So see how it looks like this is a double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, and then a chain. That is 1 cluster, the 3 double crochets and a chain. Granny squares are all about clusters. Because we're making a square, we need to put 4 clusters in. So here's 1 done already. And a cluster again is 3 double crochets, 1 chain. To join the round, slip stitch into the top of the chains. And there's our first round. For round 2, we need to make corners. We're making a square, not a circle. We need corners. I'm going to chain 2 and then flip my work. With this granny square, every single time we do a new round, we're flipping the work. So we're going the other way around. It creates a really nice balanced square, especially when you're starting out. It's easier to make it look like a square. Now I have this opening right here at the base of my chains. That's where I'm going to put my corner. To have a corner, you need one side going in and the other side going in. So we're going to have 2 clusters. Remember that represents 1 double crochet. So there's my third and a chain. That's 1 cluster. And there's the second cluster to create the corner. We're going to carry on this pattern doing corners in every single space made by the chain of the previous round. And now it's time to join our round. I'm going to do a slip stitch into the top of my chain. So you can see it definitely looks like a square now. The first round it was more circular, but having 2 clusters in the corners is what gives it the corners. Every time we start a new round, we need to go up, flip the work, and now we have a convenient little space for us to work into. The corners are over here, so this space is a side. It's only going to get 1 cluster. So remember, this represents 1 double crochet. I just need 2 more in here. This is a corner, so it's going to get 2 clusters. 3 double crochet, chain, 3 double crochet, chain. This is not a corner, it only gets one cluster. And slip stitch to join the round. Our square is growing. There's the corners, and now we have a cluster along the sides. Same thing to start the round. Chain 2, that equals 1 double crochet. Flip the work so we're going in the other direction. There's our space. It's not the corner yet, so we're doing 1 cluster. Next chain space is in the corner, so there's 2 clusters in here. And then it's just a matter of following along. Here we're doing 1 cluster each. There's 2 for the corner. 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1. Just following what was in the previous round. Slip stitch to join. So we've done 1, 2, 3, 4 rounds, and this is usually the size I like my granny squares for when I'm making those soft toys. I'm going to snip my end, leaving a nice long tail, pick up the end, bring it all the way through so that it forms a little knot, and now it won't come undone. Then of course we can sew in our ends. One of the things I like with granny squares is that it's a great project to use up little scraps of yarn. So you can change colors every few rows. So I'm going to show you how to change the color. This is where this gray round ended. There's my tail, the little knot, and this is the right side of the crochet, the part that looks like a little braid. We went that way. So I'm going to turn my work over. So I'm already doing my flip. I have my new yarn. I'm going to stick my hook into one of the chain spaces, put the yarn over top of the hook, hold down the tail, bring the hook up through so that we have a loop. And now I can do my 2 chains. I'm going to move the tail over to the side. That way I'm going to crochet over it. And now I can just start crocheting. There's 1 cluster done. And there's a second. So you can see I went over top of this tail. That's really going to help anchor it and prevents these chains from getting all loosey-goosey. And that's how I change color. If you need ideas of what to make with granny squares, Pinterest and Ravelry are good places to look. You want a fun search? Look at all the crazy things they made in the 1970s with granny squares. You thought my crocheted outfit was wild? If you get comfortable making these, please consider making a blanket to donate to charity. It doesn't have to be big. A baby blanket is a good size project to start with. This one is destined to be donated. Well, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, please click that thumbs up button. If you'd like to see more, hit the subscribe. Until next time, have fun and be creative. Granny Square! Granny Square! Granny Square! Baby blankets are also a really good sized project. Nope, don't like it.